Summer is here, and everything you need for adventure is waiting at shockshop.us. Gear up with camping essentials, stylish bathing suits for fun in the sun, reliable generators for every outdoor trip, kayaks, dinghies, and water toys for non-stop excitement. From backyard fun to lakeside escapes, shackshop.us has it all. Shop the summer sale now and save big at shackshop.us.
Reports surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena, often referred to as UFOs or UAPs, continue to capture worldwide attention, especially when individuals with military, intelligence, or government backgrounds describe experiences they believe defy conventional explanation. The latest discussion centers on claims made by former U.S. Air Force officer and intelligence official David Grusch, who says his understanding of classified information and meetings with other officials dramatically changed his perspective on what may exist beyond publicly acknowledged government programs. Speaking during a recent interview, Grusch described attending what he characterized as a gathering in a remote mountain location where participants discussed classified information concerning unidentified aerial phenomena. According to his account, individuals present reviewed highly sensitive material related to alleged encounters and recovery efforts that have long fueled speculation among researchers, journalists, and members of the public. While none of the extraordinary claims discussed at the meeting have been independently verified through publicly available evidence, Grusch said the conversations left a lasting emotional impact. He explained that after hearing descriptions of what some participants believed had occurred, those present ended the gathering with a prayer, reflecting the seriousness with which they viewed the subject. His comments have reignited debate over one of the world's most enduring mysteries, whether governments possess information about technology or intelligence that has never been fully disclosed to the public. Interest in unidentified aerial phenomena has grown dramatically over the past decade. Once dismissed almost entirely as fringe speculation, the subject has increasingly entered mainstream discussion following a series of government acknowledgments that military personnel have documented objects displaying flight characteristics they could not immediately identify. The U.S. Department of Defense has confirmed the authenticity of several military recorded videos showing unusual objects observed by Navy aviators. Officials have consistently emphasized that unidentified does not automatically mean extraterrestrial. Instead, the term simply indicates that investigators lack sufficient information to determine what the objects actually were. Even so, these official acknowledgments help transform the public conversation. Congressional hearings have followed, with lawmakers seeking greater transparency regarding military encounters with unexplained aerial objects. Officials from the Pentagon have testified about efforts to improve reporting procedures, reduce stigma among service members, and better analyze incidents that could represent foreign technology, sensor anomalies, natural phenomena, or other causes. Against that backdrop, Grusch emerged as one of the highest profile whistleblowers connected to the issue. He previously testified before Congress that multiple individuals informed him of long-standing programs allegedly involving the recovery and analysis of vehicles described as being of non-human origin. Importantly, Grusch acknowledged during testimony that much of his information came from interviews with other officials rather than from direct personal observation. Government officials have repeatedly stated that reviews conducted to date have not uncovered verifiable evidence supporting claims that the United States possesses extraterrestrial spacecraft or bodies. Independent investigators likewise note that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence and caution against drawing conclusions without publicly available documentation. Nevertheless, Grusch has maintained that additional classified information exists and argues that congressional investigators should continue examining the issue. During his recent interview, he expanded upon earlier statements by describing a meeting that he said took place in a secluded mountain environment. According to Grusch, individuals attending discussed information they believed painted an unsettling picture regarding unidentified phenomena and the possibility that humanity may not fully understand what has been observed over decades. He did not publicly disclose the precise location of the gathering or identify every participant, citing security considerations and the sensitive nature of the discussions. One aspect of his account that attracted widespread attention involved his description of the emotional atmosphere. Rather than ending with technical analysis alone, Grusch recalled that participants prayed together after reviewing the material. He suggested that the information being discussed raised profound questions touching not only on national security, but also philosophy, religion, and humanity's place in the universe. For many observers, that detail underscored how emotionally charged the subject has become. Believers argue that if even a fraction of the allegations ultimately prove accurate, the implications could reshape scientific understanding and human history. Skeptics, meanwhile, caution that emotional reactions should never substitute for verifiable evidence. They point out that history contains numerous examples of sincere witnesses reaching mistaken conclusions when confronted with incomplete information or extraordinary circumstances. Scientists also emphasize that unexplained observations are not unusual. Astronomers, atmospheric researchers, and aviation experts note that unusual lighting conditions, classified military technology, weather events, sensor limitations, and human perception can all contribute to sightings that initially appear mysterious. This scientific perspective does not dismiss eyewitnesses, but instead encourages careful investigation before reaching extraordinary conclusions. The Pentagon has likewise continued expanding efforts to evaluate reports through dedicated investigative offices tasked with identifying potential threats, while separating explainable cases from those requiring additional study. Officials stress that protecting military airspace remains the primary objective, regardless of whether an incident ultimately involves foreign surveillance systems, experimental aircraft, balloons, drones, or natural phenomena. Still, cases that remain unresolved continue attracting enormous public curiosity. For decades, stories involving alleged crash retrievals, secret government programs, and classified investigations have circulated through books, documentaries, and interviews. While many claims remain impossible to independently verify, they have become deeply embedded within popular culture. Supporters of greater disclosure argue that public trust depends upon transparency. Critics counter that secrecy surrounding advanced defense technology can easily generate rumors that grow over time, particularly when classified projects remain hidden for legitimate national security reasons. The tension between those competing viewpoints continues to define the modern UFO debate. As more former military personnel speak publicly about unusual experiences, calls for additional investigations are likely to continue. Whether future evidence ultimately confirms mundane explanations, reveals previously unknown technology, or uncovers something genuinely unprecedented remains one of the biggest unanswered questions facing investigators today. For now, Grusch's latest account adds another chapter to a story that continues to fascinate millions worldwide, while reminding audiences that remarkable claims remain just that, claims, until supported by independently verifiable evidence.